What's up, everybody? It's Wakinyan again, and I'm here to show off a pretty ridiculous Halloween 3 Season of the Witch collection that I have amassed over about the last year or so. So let's go ahead, we'll take a tour through everything I have, and I have a brand new arrival that I've not shown anybody yet, so stick around for the end to see that. Let's get into it. Alright, starting off, we got these little Fright Rag masks. These are limited to 2,000. I actually got this in a bid with the box, and it came with 2 witch masks for some reason. I tried to talk to a seller, it didn't work out, but I managed to be on a vacation in Ohio of all places, and they had this one individually, so I managed to complete the set. So I really lucked out there. This is the bag. This is a great bag, still has the tag on it. That Trick or Treat Studios did. A lot of the stuff is from them because they really went ham on that. And I wish they still had the licensing. That would be great to see more stuff. But anyways, great leather bag. Up here is a sealed Ouija board. I got these two together, actually. And I'm not opening up that shit in my apartment because that's scary, but it does look really cool and I love it. Right down here, this is the 1/6 figure ones here. They're way more detailed than like the NECA ones, which you'll see just in a second. Great design. This is like a magnet piece here, and you can see the other heads and hands and stuff. So great piece there. And then here's the very common NECA ones. A lot of people have these, but they're great. I mean, they look awesome still, even though they're not as detailed as the 1/6. They're great figures for a good price. Another super common one, the Toonie Terrors. You'll find those all over the place. So that's a really cool one too. Now I've got some discs here. Now these two and this one is what started me on this journey. But here's kind of your Halloween 2, Halloween 3 double feature bundle. Kind of your typical DVD. We've got the Good Times DVD, another really good one. This one's really unique. This is a German DVD that I found. They only made apparently 150 of them, but super slick. Here's just the generic kind of universal Good Times cover Blu-ray. This is the real version here, collector's edition that Scream Factory did. This is the Blu-ray again, what started it all for me. And then I have the Steelbook from a few years ago. Great looking steelbook. It's just a Blu-ray. And then here is the 2025 Halloween 3 4K they did. They released it around, I think, October 28th last year. And of course I had to get it because the artwork is so sick. And then we'll move on over here. And we've actually I've got my regular copy next to all my other Halloween movies, but there's Halloween 3. That's the one I probably watch, or my my steelbook I have there. So lots of physical media. And then up here we have the mask here. So I got the 3 glow-in-the-dark masks. I got those at a good deal. Those are the candy pails. I managed to put those inside of there to kind of save room in here. I got those candy pails in Ohio as well, and I shipped all this stuff back. And then I have the spinachers here and some just open Toonie Terrors. My mom found them at like a Ross for like $10, so I could open them and put them somewhere. But those are really slick. And then up here I have the assassin figure. This is kind of just a custom figure from Etsy from a guy that makes some really cool, hilarious horror figures. It's Dick Warlock. Gotta have Dick Warlock in the collection. And then kind of got the regular Halloween 3 kind of old school vintagey decorations. This is my Italian movie poster. A lot of them you'll see the space up there because they put date and time, but it's kind of a weird size, so I had to find this weird frame that had like family photos in it from Target or whatever. I'll change the background here at some point to like black or something to make it look a little sharper. There's some French lobby cards hanging down here kind of behind my guitar. That's really cool stuff. You'll see that scattered throughout. Got the scarf, which I have worn. I wore it to the Halloween 3 over at the local Regal cinemas here. They showed it on Halloween, and I wore that as I was dressed as Dr. Daniel Chalice. Picture approaching here. Here's kind of the cheaper masks. Those are really cool. I wish that had the same background. Maybe someday I'll get one, but really slick stuff there. I got that in Ohio as well, and I also got the Santa Mira sign in Ohio as well, so that's pretty cool too. Down here I've got the German media books. These two are sealed, these two are regular. They have like all German literature in there and just like background. I can't read it, of course, because I don't speak or read German. But those are really cool, and I love the artwork on them. Down here, I've got the Laserdisc right back here. I actually got that here in my local town. Super cool piece, and it's in great shape, and I got it for a really good deal. Here's a And I'll talk about that in a sec. Here's the novelization. This is a first print novelization. This is the Betamax here. They're a little smaller in a VHS, but that's a Betamax if you've ever seen one. And then every Halloween 3 fan has to have the Dr. Daniel Chalice figure signed by the man himself here. Great piece. I love this one. And then let's get into the VHS. I got a lot of them. This is the South Korean VHS. I got this with some Korean candy. The guy was super nice, super cool. So I started getting into like import stuff. That's some of my favorite stuff. As you can see, there's some cool covers you don't see very often. This is the UK one. This is probably the most common import, but I do have it. It's really slick. Gotta have them all. And then right here, just got this. This is a Turkish VHS, and I love that they just went for the witch. Super cool cover. Again, one you don't find very often. That's a great piece. I just picked that up. Here's some kind of weird ones. This is a clamshell Halloween 3. This is like an 87 copy. This is the Good Times copy. This one's pretty common. These are pretty common. Good pickups, always good to have in the collection. And then right here's a Finnish one that has Michael Myers on it for some reason. Again, it kind of proves why this movie maybe failed a little bit. And then over here, we've got the earliest promo photo of Halloween 3 you can find. It's got the computer, you know, with the witch hat on it. It says, when witchcraft meets the digital age, a different terror begins, you know. So that's in a Universal catalog from '82. It's got Conan the Barbarian and the Thing and everything in it, so super cool there. Here we've got the kind of press kit is what this is. So this was in a packet, and I actually took the staple out very carefully and found frames that were perfect for it, and framed them. So they'd send these out to marketing teams or newspapers or whatever to kind of promote the film, and they could copy the images onto whatever they wanted. That's one of my favorites. I love that piece. I love that kind of stuff where you can see, you know, all that ad campaign. It's super sick. And then up here, this is the first pressing of Halloween 3 on vinyl. This is the 2012 Death Waltz. I got this early on. Guy hooked me up with the frames and shipped it to me. So that's a really cool piece. Right here, we've got the single. I was kind of there. That came with my my one I keep in my regular 4K collection. I got that from Sacred Bones, which is John Carpenter's label. I also have this tattooed on my body. That's a really cool one. And that's what it came in, was that. And then here's an 89 cassette, and here's a 2012 Death Waltz cassette. I don't have an 82 one yet. They are a lot of money, and I'm just trying to find the right time to buy one. So, and the right deal. I got to buy this stuff for a good deal, okay? And then got the Silver Shamrock piece right here, one of my favorites. And then here's one I just picked up. This is my special surprise. This is the Halloween 3 Turkish VCD. This is a video CD. I just got that from the same guy who I got the VHS from, and I've also got a DVD coming from him. Here's the original CD. Here's a repress right there, limited to 1,000. I got that one. That one's sealed. And then there's the Mondo vinyl release you can still get. They have a bunch of different colors for it and everything, but that's a really cool piece too. And then right here, here is a little painting my partner did for me for Christmas, which I love, and it looks great next to my limited to 50 skateboard deck that I had to get. That's a really cool piece there too. And then down here I've got a few magazines. Of course, everybody wants the Fangoria one. That's the big boy there. But I have just a couple others that I thought were pretty cool. Right down here is a one-of-one Hot Wheel that I really love. I got that early on in collecting. Somehow found it. I scrounged eBay and managed to find stuff, you know, changing typing and changing words and seeing what adjacent to Halloween 3 I can find, and that's where I found it. This little card I kept. It was cool. It came with the skateboard, and it's got the witch on the back. It looks cool. This is a French postcard that I got, and that I just thought it was cool. It was cheap. Here's a little like tiny card for the Fangoria magazine that everybody wants. And then here is a Portuguese pocket calendar. I thought it was cool. It's from 1987. I don't know why they printed that, but they did. And then here's a Dr. Daniel Chalice kind of stop-it card, legendary scene. And then right behind there, I'm sure you can see it, that's a CED disc. It's kind of like a vinyl record. They're really primitive, and they died out really quickly. But gotta have it. You know, Halloween 3 came out right in like 1982, so there was a bunch of different forms of home video. So I have them all, though. Here's some pins that I thought were really cool. Here's some like 35 millimeter film stuff. I I like some of the little shit like that. It's very fun. Down here is the Tommy Lee Wallace book. I've read it. It's very fun. Where the Hell is Michael Myers? There's some Christmas ornaments. I thought they were fun. I got those in Ohio as well. Here's some leftover wrapping paper. I just thought it was cute, you know. The jack-o'-lantern that sings the song, the infamous song, as you all know. And then this has the popcorn bucket that I got last year. I'm not going to open that popcorn, but it looks great. So I have that. And then up here is the rest of my sort of like French lobby cards. They kind of scurry out right here. And this one was one of the first pieces I bought. This is a James Neal limited run. There's actually two others, The Witch and the Pumpkin. But that's just, I don't have room. As you can see, it's pretty max cap in here, but I'll get them someday, and I'll get the first prints. They only made 100 of each, but I have that kind of centerpiece here. And then one of my favorite pieces is the Halloween 3 French movie poster, and it's really slick. So I love this piece so much. It's one of my first I got, and it's got the gold background. It's just super cool. So let me show you a couple other posters I got too. All right, now these are ones I just got. Now that looks very similar to the French one there. It's a German version. The big difference is the characters are on the left side and not the right side. So I love that artwork. It's one of my favorites. And a lot of them will have the space up top like my Italian one up there, because they would write show times and the theater and all of that on top of those. But it's very thin paper. It's really cool. Now this one is an incredibly rare and hard to find Mexican one sheet. I just got this. These actually came in a lot of stuff. But that is one of my favorites. I can't wait to get it framed and get it put up. It is just a beautiful poster, and it just looks amazing. I love the colors on it. I love the design. I even love the little random, like, Ellie with their head cut off bit right down there. Thank you all for watching. I'll have more stuff coming up. I'm getting stoked on Halloween, so I always have more adding to the collection. If anybody has anything, like, do you want to get rid of some stuff, or just, like, shoot me a message? Morning Habit on Instagram, or Morning Habit here on YouTube, or an email, whatever. Just hit me up. Like, I'm always interested in seeing cool Halloween 3 stuff, especially like screen use stuff or any import stuff, but shoot me anything. Like, I'm down to check out whatever. So if you have any questions, like, just holler at me, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. I love this stuff. And show me off your collection if you got anything. And then comment down below, what's your favorite piece in the collection? Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Happy, happy Halloween.